If you're doing A-level chemistry, or you know someone who's doing A-level chemistry, the Cambridge curriculum, this book is for you. It's a very good atomic structure study on the go workbook. So this is particularly just for atomic structure, as it says there. So first of all, this is a very portable book. In other words, it's very small. It's an A5 book with only about 30 sheets in here, because it's about 60 something pages. It's very light. You can actually have it in your pocket because it's small. So what we have inside this book are syllabus objectives and associated questions that help address that particular objective. Okay, let's get inside. So what I'm essentially saying is that's the workbook, that's just the references, that's the introduction there, and that's the table of contents and that page. So from now on, all the pages are just like that. Now what is found within each page? So you can see that we have, first of all, right at the top, we have the subtopic. So within atomic structure, we have other subtopics that you can see there. And then after each subtopic, what you have is a syllabus objective. This whole objective was taken straight from the Cambridge syllabus. And then accompanying that syllabus objective are these questions, which I then came up with. These questions will help address this one objective. So essentially what the student is doing when they are using this workbook, the student is answering these questions, right? So the moment they are able to answer those mini questions that are there, at the end of all these 4 questions, they've essentially just addressed this whole syllabus objective. And then on the other page, you just have some extra space for drawing diagrams and extra space for more notes if they have not understood anything. And you have a reflections section here. So the student is going to be asked whether they've understood the objective entirely. They can tick yes or no. And if there are any questions that they still want to look at, in other words, we are looking at these 4 questions, is there anything that they would still want to look at? So if there is, then that is what the teacher is then going to help them through, going through. This book can also be used as a tool by teachers to assign homework to students. They can assign students work to go and look at these syllabus objectives in advance. This is very good for teachers who are proactive. This is also very good for those who do tutoring or extra lessons, as they call them, right? So they can just give this booklet to a student and then say, the next time we meet, I want you to have addressed this objective. In other words, you would have answered all these questions, such that when the teacher is now talking about this objective in class, the student has an understanding already of what this syllabus objective is talking about, because they've been given questions that help to address that particular objective. So essentially what is now going on in class is more of a class discussion, right? And the students highlighting what they did not understand as they were reading. Then the teacher is just unlocking those little details. Otherwise, the students do not come to class blank without any prior knowledge of what this objective is trying to address. So this is a very good tool for those, especially for those high-flying students who really need to have some work, extension work to do on their own without the guidance of a teacher. You just give your student this workbook. When they go to the library, they can even use a textbook to address these questions, or they can even use computers. We are now in the computer age. They can use computers in the library to look for answers to these questions on the internet. Even on the phone, they can still do that. This is a study on the go workbook. What it essentially means is that wherever you go, you can take it with you because it's a lightweight thing. You can put it in your pocket, even when you're seated on the bus, or you're in the car, or you're just somewhere in the park and you have your phone and there's data. You can simply just open the little booklet and start addressing these objectives and going on just like that. So this is just for atomic structure. I've separated the topics for a reason, that I do not want this book to be heavy, because as it says here, it's a study on the Go workbook, which means I don't want it to be voluminous like that. I want it to be very user-friendly, very lightweight, so that it can be taken anyway. I don't want this to be a heavy thing. And I also want the study to be precise. The student will always know that they want to look at atomic structure. If they want to look at chemical energetics, that's another booklet altogether. They will just pick the chemical energetics booklet, they go into the library, they start researching on chemical energetics only. So that is the beauty of this thing. Number one, it's lightweight. Number two, it helps to address the syllabus objective. So you see that on each page, you have that page which has your objective and questions that help you answer the objective, and extra space for drawings, for notes and reflections. You go to the next page, it looks identical. What is only different now is the new syllabus objective and the new questions helping to answer this syllabus objective. You still have a space for notes, space for diagrams and reflections. You go to that, you have a new syllabus objective. So you keep going until you get to the end of the booklet. And at the end of it all, you would have addressed all the syllabus objectives on atomic structure, because I took all these syllabus objectives straight from Cambridge ASA level chemistry syllabus. What I came up with on my own are these questions which help address this objective. But this I took straight from the syllabus, Cambridge syllabus, because this is what the students need to know for them to be able to sit for their A-level chemistry and pass. These are just questions that are helping them to answer those questions. So if you think you are interested in this booklet, just hit my inbox, or you can just go to the link in my bio. There is a link there that takes you to the Atomic Structure Study on the Go workbook. Please tag anyone who needs to see this book.